Hello, lovelies. Hello, family, and welcome. This is Kimberly Purpoz, and welcome to my channel. Today, I decided I wanted to do something totally different today. This particular video is going to be on my vlog, and I just want to share, you know, my experiences, about substance abuse and how to tell. This particular video is about how to tell if a loved one is abusing drugs or have a substance abuse issue. There are some warning signs. There's some things that you can look out for, with loved ones that have substance abuse issues. And I guess I'll share my story. I was in a previous relationship a long time ago, not too long ago, with someone who had a substance abuse issue. And I also have friends who've been in a relationship with a loved one who has substance abuse issue. And I wanted to share some of the things, some of the warning signs, so everyone can be more aware or more, aware or have an idea of what to look out for if they are dealing with someone who has a substance abuse issue. But this video is just touch on the warning signs. But before we start, today I wanted to share my company. My business is Purpose Counseling and Wellness Center. For those of y'all who don't know, I am a licensed therapist, a licensed counselor, and this is my website. It says here, feel like you're falling apart? Let us help you find the missing pieces in your life. Purpose Counseling and Wellness Center provides an array of therapeutic counseling services geared towards helping individuals, families, and the communities. Our goal is to assist individuals holistically through our transpersonal counseling services. I am also on Psychology Today with my Wellness Center. Give us a call today. All right, you guys. I found this particular website here that sort of gives you an overview of what to look out for someone who has a substance abuse issue. And I'm going to share my story as to how I found out the person that I was in a serious relationship with had substance abuse issue. I guess I'll share my story. This person I've known for a long time. We grew up together practically, and I found out that this person had a substance abuse issue. They did not tell me initially they had a substance problem, but I did see some subtle signs. And at that time, I was a little naive. I was very naive, actually, because I never really been in a relationship with someone who had a substance issue. I worked with people in the past with substance issue, on a workplace level, but I never actually been in a relationship with someone who had it. And that's a totally different ball game. But I later found out that this person had issues. And here are some of the warning signs. One of the signs I found out this person had issues, money's missing. They never have enough money. They either eat a lot, after they had used a certain substance, or they have heightened energy, alertness. It depends on what kind of drug or substance they're using, such as cocaine and crack. They might have heightened energy, but if they are having alcohol, they might slow down and be more depressed, and especially after the next day of being, drunk and everything. And sometimes people who are on substance abuse might be not just using just one substance, they might be on multiple substances and not just that one. And so, another thing is they might stay out late. They might be gone for long hours at a time. I'm sorry, I was looking away at the mic. I got a new mic over there, sort of a distraction, but I put it there and testing it out. Hopefully y'all can hear me on this video. But this person, you know, had strange friends. They always had to stay gone and be gone all in the middle of the night, come back strange hours. They have lo- um, less motivation to do work, less motivation to get up in the morning to do things, always in a depressed state, or also they can never explain where their money is. They try to steal other people's money, some of them, because sometimes, if have a really bad substance abuse issue, they may go through money a lot quicker because, no matter how much they get high, they so addicted to it, they are so focused or fixated on the drug. And if you're not careful, you know, you can be an enabler just by being there all the time and not letting that person fall, and learn how to get to the point where they're tired. A lot of times they're not ready. If they're not ready, they're not going to stop doing what they're doing. They have to be at a sinking place, at a point where they're tired and they want to get out of it. They have to have the willpower to drive or to want to stop doing what they're doing. So yeah, those are some of the warm signs. Some of them might be a lack of appetite. You know, some people may have weight loss, depending on what kind. Like I said, depending on what kind of drugs they're using. Like for cocaine, like I said, might not have as much appetite. And as far as weed and marijuana, person might have increased appetite. And so these are some of the warning signs. You may want to look for. You may also want to look for memorabilia, paraphernalia. And paraphernalias. Those are things that people use to get high with, like with crack. They might have like a pipe. They might use a lot of aluminum foil. You might see that. With cocaine, you might want the straw. They might roll paper and straw. There are little things you can see and pick up on. If they smoking crack, you might smell a chemical in the back. They like to hide in the bathroom a lot. They stay in the bathroom for hours at a time. They might not want you to come in, and they can't explain what they're doing in the bathroom. Then they come out, you might have a smell. Usually the smell smells like nail polish. You look out for that. But it's a lot of things you gotta look out for. Strange friends, like I said, they no longer hang out with their regular friends that they normally do. They might want to hang out with more strange undesirables, or people that other people are just like them, or just weird, and you just start noticing the difference. And sometimes they might miss work, take off and don't return. They don't become more irresponsible, like I said, forgetting to do things, losing track of time. Those are some of the things you have to look out for. I saw this really good article I wanted to share with you guys, with substance abuse use, and that's why I wanted to share that with you all. I'm also a certified substance abuse counselor as well, and these are some of the things I've seen with this particular one that I was seeing. Of course, we're no longer together because this person decided that the drugs was more important. That's their first love, was the drugs, and they weren't willing to give it up. And so, and they're not willing to give it up. You got to realize you can't make them change. They have to be willing to change themselves. They're willing to go through rehab and know that they have a problem. A lot of times they don't realize they have a problem. And if they don't think they have a problem, they don't want to do anything to fix it. And unfortunately, staying there and being in a relationship with them can sometimes cause you to be enabling them to stay further into their substance abuse use, especially when they are taking money or stealing resources and not being accountable, and and you're allowing them to constantly, milk you, drive your resources, and eventually to the point where, um, it's like a chronic cycle. And the only way you could break it is sometimes you have to, step back and let them fall. Unfortunately, I tell some of my clients sometimes the only thing you can do is step back and watch until they fall, because a lot of times they don't realize they have a problem and they're not willing to change until they hit rock bottom. Sometimes in order to change, they have to hit the rock bottom. But if you're constantly picking them up and constantly babying them and being supportive of them and taking care of them, they'll never learn, unfortunately. And sometimes people wake up, they get tired, especially if they hit rock bottom. They get tired of the chronic cycle and realize, hey, this is a problem. I got to do something about it. But as far as this article goes, this is an article. It's from Australia, you guys, but it has a lot of good points in here. It says, how can I tell someone is using drugs? And it says, there are some signs and behaviors that raise concern that your child, this can also be for an adult as well, you guys. The children and adults. And it says, however, many of these signs are common among teenagers and adults. But let's hear, it says, a lot of times some of these substance abuse issues starts off in the teenage years. And some people outgrow it as they get older, and some people it's still continuing into adulthood, and they just don't know how to break the chronic cycle. It says some of the signs is withdrawal from friends and family, and that's what some people do when they're having substance abuse issue. They change friendships or problems with friends. The friends they had, they're no longer friends with them anymore. The ones that are actually doing stuff that are positive for them, they don't want to have anything to do with them. They cut them off, and then they get with people who are drug users too, or got a lot of issues of their own. They rather gravitate towards people like that, so they won't feel like they have to change or do something about their substance issue. And it says dropping grades and attendance in school, and that's for kids and adults, but teenagers, I meant to say. But it also applies to adults. In adults, you start seeing poor performance at work and not attending work, not getting up and going to work on time. Those are signs, or can't have the inability to be able to stay on a job. Another thing is signs of sadness, depression. You see that. A lot of times you might see mood swings. They might have chronic mood swings. Some minutes they may feel depressed. The next minute they might feel agitated or have some sort of hostility. The other thing is increased borrowing money. That's why I was saying they always never have any money. Money always come up missing. And then they'll even steal your money. If you're not careful, they'll go and steal your money. It's getting to the point where money is just coming up missing all the time. And a lot of times, because that's what they're doing. Money, I won't just say money. It could also be resources that you have. Like if you have a computer or some sort of iPad or cell phone, it might come up missing as well. These are signs, or that's what they're doing. They might be giving, they may be selling it out in the streets so they can support the drug habit, pretty much. Increased borrowing money, like I said, evidence of drug paraphernalia. I mentioned that paraphernalia, the tools and stuff that they use to use their drug. For example, you may see the paper sack bag with the copper wiring. Those are signs too, and they can't explain what that's for, and they always have it all over the house, hidden somewhere. That's a sign. Missing prescription drugs is another sign. Some people who might be abusing opiates may be using that as well. It says drugs have different effects depending on the type of drug taken. Like I said before, there's different types of drugs and it affects people in different ways. It's whether it's a depressant, which is alcohol, and the stimulant is methamphetamines. And it says here some signs that someone may be under the influence of drugs include enlarged pupils, bloodshot eyes, or glossy eyes. And sometimes they might be in a daze, in their own little world, depending on what they are. They might use acid or something, and they're definitely in their own little world. And it says increase energy and confidence. You might see that. Loss of inhibition, that's when they have no discretion. They might go outside and take off their clothes, to be talking to someone. Loss of inhibition, or, do something crazy. Lots of coordination at night, losing their balance, tripping over things. Another thing is aggressive behavior. They may become more aggressive, especially if they feel like you're questioning them on their substance abuse issue, or if you ask them about money or anything, they might become more aggressive. And sometimes they might be hallucinating, become aggressive, seeing things that are not there. Those are, depending on what kind of drug they're using, they may even hallucinate and become aggressive. And the aggressive behavior, you don't even have to do anything, like I said, and for them to be aggressive towards you, especially if they're high. And then it says trembling, twitching, you might see that. Paranoia, being extremely suspicious, questioning you about everything, trying to figure out where you're going. And those are example. Hallucinating, like I said before, seeing things that are not there. You may not see it, but they see it. And so nausea, vomiting is another one. Always having stomach cramps, always complaining of stomach pains. Usually that sometimes they might go through a sign of withdrawal, with the shakes and stuff when they haven't been on the drug for a while, or they becoming more and more dependent on the drug. They might start having withdrawal symptoms. Another thing is complaint. They might have blurred vision, headaches, and dizziness with alcoholism. Sometimes if they're heavy drinkers, if they stop all of a sudden, it can be quite dangerous. That's why it's good. They need to go to a rehab center so that they can see a medical doctor, so they can get the help that they need to gradually be taken off the substance that they're on. Because substances like alcohol, believe it or not, can be very dangerous for a person who stopped cold turkey. They might have a stroke or something, or a seizure. So it's good to make sure they be seen by a doctor or go to a rehab center to get the support they need, especially if they are doing multiple drugs and, any type of drug, really. They need to see a doctor or go to a rehab. Another thing you may have experienced is exhaustion, tiredness, insomnia, constantly sleeping. They get so high they just sleeping all day long for days at a time. Irritability and moodiness is another thing they might experience. Another thing is changing eating patterns, such as eating too little, or more, eating more or less. It depends on what kind of drug they're using. Like I said, eating less is usually with cocaine. They don't hardly want to eat. They lose their appetite. And then with marijuana, for example, there's an increase in appetite. Anxiety symptoms such as panic attacks, dizziness, sweating, dry mouth, muscle aches, and headaches. You may even see blisters on the mouth, especially if they're on crack. Little things that you can see. It says, remember that drugs affect different people in different ways. For more information for different drugs and their specific effects, see the drug fact sheet page. So, yeah, I thought this was a really great article. Even though it's in Australia, it's in another country, but these are some of the things that, globally that happens when people are using and abusing drugs. And like I said, it's good to be there for someone who is willing to change and want to make a difference and want to stop their addiction. But if you're with someone or have a family member or loved one that you're seeing or dating or in a relationship with, you can't force them to change and stop their substance abuse. They have to be willing to change on their own. I've seen this, in my real life, as, and also I've seen it with clients as well. They have to be willing and want to have the desire within them to want to change. The only person who can stop the substance abuse use is that individual that's abusing the drugs. But yes, this is what I wanted to share with you guys, and I would love to see what you all think about this video. If y'all have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And I just wanted to share my story with you all, and I also wanted to share what I've experienced when I with loved ones a loved one that was experiencing drug, and some of my friends who had that issue with a loved one, what they experienced, and also what I've learned and seen and working with clients over the years. Who has substance abuse and what it's like, dealing with a loved one with substance abuse. I have to admit, being a professional in the field, dealing with someone with substance abuse and actually working with them is different than actually being in a relationship with them. When you're actually living with a person with that issue, it's a whole nother ball game. You see the whole gist of everything. But, I can go on and on and on about this topic, and I would love to see what you all think. And please like this video, thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, family, love, and peace. Bye-bye.